All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders, the great millstone, who teach and rule well. And salutations to the Yakim out there laboring with the hopeful elect that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. And I have an article here pretty much speaking about, the long arm of the law, pretty much getting out the game of being law enforcement. You see, lawless list is pretty much taking root in these urban cities. And this article reads, mass exodus from NYPD, New York City. That's the New York City, the police department continues as hundreds of officers attend retirement seminar. You know, and pretty much all they have to do really is just put in their 20 years and they can retire. So pretty much if you got the job as a NYPD police officer at the age of 20 or 21, you pretty much can retire at the age of 40 with full benefits. But right now you're seeing officers that don't quite have the 20 years yet and pretty much are, considering to cut their losses early. You may have officers that may have only maybe 17, 18 years on the job and ready to, they're planning to make their exit. You see, a lot of them will probably, crunch the numbers and say, hey, listen, I'm ready to just get out of this whole thing now, you know, because they're not getting the support that they were used to get in the good old days. You see, a lot of the defunding is going on, and it's hurting the morale of these officers, man. You see, when I'm out and about in the city, you see the blatant disrespect for law enforcement by regular citizens, man. You know, everybody's on edge, and this whole thing has heightened. Pretty much after the pandemic, you've seen a rise in pretty much sedition amongst men. Of pretty much of law enforcement. You see, okay, citizens are pretty much challenging these officers, man. You see, you see plethora of videos that are pretty much out. That you see where a citizen may hook off on an officer, man, to get away or to just challenge him when he's being questioned. And when this officer is trying to establish his authority, man, you're seeing people bucking up. You see, and this is the climate that we're in now, man, because bail reform, okay, is in place in a lot of these cities, and pretty much these mayors got the word. Like I said, the mayor of New York City, which is Eric Adams, he was a police officer himself. You see, and he pretty much came into office when he got elected as mayor a few years back. He pretty much was gun ho on cleaning up the city and running a tight ship, But as soon as he got into office, he pretty much got that call down to Washington D.C., down there to the Biden administration, and they set him down and told him, "Listen, nigga, you ain't gonna do nothing but sit on your hands. Okay, we got this, you know. Okay, and this is all done by design with the deterioration of these cities, you know. The funding is being cut with mental patients. They're out pretty much mental patients are pretty much out on the lam, causing havoc in the city, pushing people on the subway tracks unknowingly, causing just hysteria throughout the city, man, and disruptive of the quality of life. You see, they're giving an okay to pretty much shoot up, drug addicts, or pretty much have free reign to shoot up in the public, without any repercussion. You see, nobody's doing anything about it, you know. You see, and this comes to where petty crime is a plague of a city, man, that can destroy it, man, and destroy the moral character of a city, man, and bring it to ruins. And this is what you see. You see a lot of little petty things that are going on, man, that become a big city problem issue. You see? Okay, but I'll read this article and then I'm gonna play a video and we're gonna hit some scriptures. But it says, pretty much witness the mass exodus from the NYPD as hundreds of off-duty officers attend a retirement seminar in Queens, New York, amid rising anti-police sentiment and calls for defunding. Officers are retiring in record numbers, sparking concerns about retaining veteran cops and the future of the force. You see? So you pretty much have a lot of these veteran cops out there that are pretty much nearing that 20-year mark that are not gonna, stay on the force, man. They're gonna pretty much do their 20 years and out. You see? Years ago, you would have police officers on the force for much longer than 20 years, because, you're sitting you're still pretty much at a young age when you retire. You pretty much can retire if you get the job when you're 20 years old, 21 years old, fresh out of, school, whatever schooling you were doing, you pretty much can retire at the age of 40. So you're pretty much still a young man or young woman, you see? But they normally stay on the force longer. This is what they used to do years ago. You would have an officer that would have 30 plus years of service, man. You see, all of these old school cops, man, are pretty much exiting the force, man. You see? But let's play this clip, man. All right?
Well, more evidence of a mass exodus that's underway within the NYPD. As Fox 5 Sharon Crowley shows us tonight, hundreds of off-duty officers packed into a retirement seminar held in Queens.
The line wraps around the building. 800 off-duty New York City police officers waiting outside Anton's Catering Hall in Queens Village to go inside to a meeting about retirement benefits.
We have significantly more retirees than active members.
This session filled up so quickly, another one is planned for another 800 cops next month.
There's a level of disrespect out in the street in regards to police officers. Like, people yell things at you, and whereas before, people will say, thank you for being here, thank you for protecting us.
This NYPD officer has been on the beat in Queens for 19 years, and he may retire next year.
I think what would help would be an increase in the manpower.
The spike in NYPD officers quitting or retiring as soon as they are eligible started in 2020. Cops leaving in record numbers following the defund the police movement and protests about police brutality in the wake of George Floyd's death.
This crowd is proof what's on the minds of New York City police officers is to exit the NYPD.
PBA President Patrick Henry says the anti-police sentiment coupled with bail reform laws makes it hard to retain veteran cops.
We're losing our veteran police officers who are out in the streets every day, risking their lives to protect New Yorkers.
He'd like to see laws changed in Albany to create better funded pensions and incentives to keep seasoned officers on the force for 5 or 10 years longer.
One of the main reasons our police officers are leaving at 20 years because there's no incentive to stay past 20 years. Financially, it doesn't make any sense.
As the police union tries to get attention from state lawmakers in Albany, they do appear to have an ally in City Hall. Mayor Adams, a former police officer himself, recently agreed to a new contract with the PBA, one that includes pay raises and higher salaries for new recruits. Sharon Crowley, Fox 5 News.
And really, that's just for new recruits, though, But it's gonna be for naught at the end of the day. Okay, it's pretty much not gonna keep officers, on the beat, man. These people are lucky to come home every night, man. Okay, all right. These officers are really pretty much are have themselves pretty much in danger, man. You see, okay. Really, because at the end of the day, okay, they lucky to get home in one piece, man. Okay, without any incident. You see, without having to be assaulted. You see, you're dealing with mental patients out there, man, and they're very volatile, man. Okay, all right. A lot of people are on edge. You see, and then really the morale pretty much is really low within this department. Because there's a bad taste that's still left in their mouth from when they had the the juice mandate, man. You see, a lot of them feel some kind of way about that. A lot of them are pretty much, a lot of them left the force for one, that depleted the force, you know, and the ones that pretty much complied, pretty much that really did it against their will, but they had to feed their family, pretty much have a bad taste in their mouth from that whole thing, man. Okay, so they pretty much, man, is saying that this ain't worth it, man. I'm gonna just do my little time and that's it. I'm doing a little 20 years and that's it. You see? Okay, and you got guys there on the force that's pretty much don't have 20 years yet, but they can pretty much cut and sever ties, man, and do some other kind of line of work, man. This is what they're pretty much thinking. These guys are pretty much will rather work as a for a private security firm, man, than to stay on the force and be on the front lines, man. You see? Okay, but we know that the unseen hand is pretty much adding to the whole thing of this whole deterioration of these cities, man. Plus the migrant situation that's going on. Okay, you see, all right, they're pretty much are getting treated. Not even people think they're getting treated good, but at the end of the day, they have to move their way out for more migrants. So they only have 30 days or so, 30 to 60 days to vacate a certain dwelling that is given unto them. And pretty much they're going to be out in the streets on their own. So what are they going to do when you have somebody that's of a low skill set? Okay? All right, that has that isn't in low paying jobs. You see? They're going to go into a life of crime, man. You see? Okay, and there's word out there that pretty much the people that are coming up across the border are pretty much the misfits of those particular countries that they came from, man. Okay, so it's only a matter of time, man, when you're gonna start to see a lot of these people pretty much form Voltron and start gangs, man. Start crime gangs, man. Okay, you see? All right, people pretty much are going to be, are frightened by this new way of living, man. Okay, as the inflation starts to rise, the economy starts to get volatile as we see in it now, okay, all right, prices are rising and people pretty much are and the resources are getting scarce, man. Okay, so people are only going to resort to a life of crime, man. Okay, these people, these 2/3 out there, man. Okay, they're gonna make haste in a time of trouble, man. Okay, they're not spiritually grounded at the end of the day. But this is 2 Esdras chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hand. And you can have any type of affiliation to a people, man. It could be a race thing, it could be a class war, you see, okay? It could be a affiliation of just you people just because you have the same mindset, man. Okay, but the Egyptians definitely going to fight against the Egyptians, man. You see, okay. But it says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power." And this is really what you're trying to see now. You're starting to see it, man. You're starting to see the disrespect that people have for law enforcement, man. They're not respecting their orders, man. They're bucking up against them, man. They're actually really trying to fight them, man. You see, this is why you have more shootings on the rise with cops and civilians. You see, okay, you're having much more violent incidences that are happening, man. Okay, they're not regarding anybody's say so, man. Okay. People are trying to get it how they live, so to speak, man. You see, they're trying to eat, man. Everybody's trying to eat. And then, like I said, ever since this whole thing with the whole shutdown, when they open back up, man, these people have become brute beasts, man. You see? Okay? But it says, the scriptures talk about, man, the course of action is going to be in their own power, man. They're going to pretty much do what they want to do, man. All right? And people are not going to regard other people's private property, man. Okay, which is going to be another issue, man. Home invasion is on the rise, man. Okay, you see, people taking things that don't belong to them. You see, all right. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." And this is playing right into the hands of the elites, man. Because ultimately they want to bring these tanks on to roll out on the streets, man. You know, they want to bring order through chaos, man. And this is one way they can do it, through martial law, man. You see? Okay? All right, people are going to cry for this, man. And this is how people's rights are pretty much going to be taken away, man. Because you're crying for security, man. Okay? So security pretty much in this day and age comes with a price, man. Okay? And that's pretty much your liberty. All right? You see? It says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid, man. And the average man is going to be afraid. These people are not built in a way to withstand the things that are coming upon the earth, man. Okay? You see? All right? People pretty much are literally going to have to pretty much board up their windows in their house, man. You see? You're going to pretty much have to get into the mode of locking your windows, man. Okay? You know? You pretty much take the air conditioner out of the window, man. You see? Okay? You're not going to give a person easy entry into your home, man. Okay? Because pretty much, man, you can come back home and pretty much your goods are going to be taken, man. Okay? You see? It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You see? And that's what's coming. You see? Okay? You know, you got to remember, okay, especially when we go into this new way of doing transactions, okay? You know, these lower wage people, okay, that pretty much rely on just cash transactions, okay, are going to be cut out of the deal, man. Okay, you see, a lot of those little gigs and jobs, man, where cash was pretty much being exchanged, you know, okay, under the radar, okay, pretty much is going to be done away with. You see. So a lot of these jobs and a lot of these businesses you're still businesses right now that are still dealing with just cash. Okay? Certain businesses you cannot go, you only can come with them with cash, man. You see? Those places are going to be closed up, man. You know, people that were associated with those places, man. You see? And anybody that had a little gig where they would get the money under the table, man, them days are going to be done away with, man. Okay? And then with the rising cost of inflation, and then the cutting of services, okay, you're gonna see that great tribulation, man, and you're gonna see the people's houses get destroyed for the lack of bread, man. You see, okay, that's pretty much what's coming, man. You know, all right. From there, let's go to Second Esdras, chapter 16, from verse 40. You know, pretty much the Lord's speaking about these plagues that are coming upon the earth, and then how they're not going to be slack, man. You know, but when you go into that word plague, there's another definition of it. And normally you talk about a continued contagious bacterial disease. You know, that's all going to be some of those plagues are going to be there. But I want to focus on this one here, top of the screen, cause of continual trouble or distress. You see? Okay? And pretty much a plague as a verb. Okay? And pretty much, man, it's going to be continual trouble or distress, man. Okay? That the Lord spoke about these plagues that are not going to be slack. But it says here in 2 Esdras chapter 16, verse 40, O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to that battle. And even those evils, and even in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Okay, so the Lord's speaking about those plagues and speaking about evils, man. Okay, all right, pretty much being pilgrims upon the earth, man. Okay, pretty much can't stand in one spot, man. You know, right? Because he goes into it. It says, "He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away." You know why? It's because you selling something, you're selling a good, okay, all right, and you're getting something for that for what you're selling, but you need to flee away. Why? It's because pretty much of what you have, man, somebody else is gonna try to take it. You see, all right. It says, and he that buyeth is as one that will lose. You see, so it's gonna be a time to when you're buying something that's gonna be for naught. It's not gonna be for any type of gain to yourself, man. Why? It's because somebody else is gonna try to take your head off for what you have, man. You see. Okay, so nobody's going to benefit from these type of little bartering and transaction actions that are going to be going on, man. You see, it says, he that occupieth merchandise as he that have no profit by it. You know, and you got these people that are pretty much, prepping, you know, okay? You pretty much are occupying merchandise, man. But it says what? That you're not going to profit by it, right? And he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. So you can build your little shelter in place and build it up, man. But you're not going to be dwelling there in it, okay? Because your houses are going to be destroyed by somebody else trying to take what you got, man. Okay? You see? You know, you a lot of these people, you know, a lot of these, especially the Edomites, they really think they got some type of a good network going on within their old neighborhood, man. Okay? You see? All right? But they don't understand that your neighbor is going to be your enemy in that time, man. Okay, especially if you're talking to Jimmy across the street and you're bragging about what you got and pretty much of you prepping and he's pretty much processing all this information, man. And in that time of need, guess what? Okay, he's gonna be on your property trying to take what you got, man, with the sword, man, with that which is the modern day gun. Okay, you see, but it says, "He that soweth as if he shall not reap." So also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes, man. Okay? You know, when you're trying to grow and do things on your own, man, you're gonna sow, but you're not gonna reap from it, man. You see? Okay? Right? They that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers, man. Okay? You know, when we got them impending Armageddon that's shaping up. Okay, a lot of people are going to be shipped off to overseas, and then you're going to have pretty much the people that are left here, man, are going to be left for everyday battle for their lives, man. You see? Okay, all right. Life's going to be very cheap in that time, man. Okay, very cheap in that time, man. And death is going to be known to people, man. All right. All right, it's going to be a regular sight to see it, man. Blood, okay? You see? It says, "And therefore they that labor in vain. For strangers shall reap their fruits, and spoil their goods, and overthrow their houses, and take children captive. For in captivity and famine shall they get children." You see that? And do captivity and famine, okay? In the famine, hey, you're gonna have a lot of parentless children, man, that are gonna be running around, man. And children, okay, are going to be a commodity in that time, man. Okay, all right. And strangers shall reap it. What's these strangers, man? You're going to talk about these migrants. These migrants are gonna band up and start little gangs, man. Okay, you can see them now, man. They 20 deep on mopeds, man, running around causing terror throughout these cities, man. Okay? You see? Okay? It says, "And they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons." You see? Okay? All right? And hey, man, you know, pretty much people are going to capitalize on somebody's downfall, man. Okay? You know, somebody's loss is definitely going to be somebody's gain in that time, man. You know, you see? All right. Let's get another scripture real quick. Let's go with Proverbs, first chapter. Let's start at Proverbs. Let's start at 10. Right? "My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not." You know, and we know to be spiritual in that time, man. Okay, the men of the potential elect, the hopeful elect. You know, right? All right. Don't be enticed by sinners, man. "If they say, 'Come with us,' let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privately for the innocent without cause." You see? Okay, we not to consent to these things, man. This is the 2/3, man. Okay, the 2/3 are pretty much going to destroy themselves with this whole mindset, man. Because why? It's because it's going to be a snare into them. You see? "Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse." You see, and pretty much, you know, you've got dividing the spoil, man. Okay, pretty much you're going to be running around with these motley crew of individuals, man. Okay, all right, and they pretty much are gonna pretty much go and divide the spoil, man. It says, "My son, walk not thou in the path with them. Refrain thy foot from their path, for their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood." Okay, and this is what their purpose is going to be, man. Okay, you see, surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privately for their own lives. You see that? Okay, so are the ways of every one that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. You see? Okay, and we already know when you read on down, wisdom crieth without it utter its voice in the streets, man. Okay, and this is a time for people to really get right with the Lord, man. You see? Okay, and be on the right hand side of the Lord, man, in that time, man, because the Lord got us, man. You see? Okay, this is going to be a snare into the 2/3, man. Okay, to be in this type of mindset in that time, man. Okay, all right, they pretty much are going to be set up to destroy one another, man. They're going to pretty much X themselves out, man. Okay, the scriptures speak about, man, you them that live by the sword shall die by the sword, man. You see? Okay, so we have to consent not, man, into this covenant with death, man. You see? Okay, and pretty much, man, hey, man, these officers, man, that are out there pretty much are considering, man. They want to come home and pretty much they want to take care of their family, man. They see the streets are not safe, man. You see? Okay? The streets are not safe anymore, man. They see that, man. They see they don't really have the backing and protection and the proper funding, man, to be able to do their job in a rightful manner, man. Okay? Because the memo's already out, man. All right? They're not even able to execute their job within any type of integrity, man. Because it's pretty much hands off, man. You see? And why are you going to go through arresting these people when they're going to get out on bail, which you got bail reform? Okay, so they pretty much are going to get out on their own recognizance, man. You see, they're going to get released the very next day for doing any type of crime that they would arrest them for, man. Okay, so these law enforcement individuals, man, are pretty much laboring in vain to begin with, man. Okay, plus there's no incentive for them to stay on the job, man. After they got the 20 years, man. And some are trying to jump ship before that, man. They're willing to cut their losses, man, and go ahead and do some other kind of line of work. They'll still receive some type of benefits. They'll still receive some type of pension. Some of them may not be that 100% pension, but it's something. And they're willing to work something else of a job that's not gonna be as dangerous to them, man. This job is a health hazard in these last days, man. Okay, we see it, man. We see it. Nobody's regarding any cops anymore in the streets, man. You see? All right, so with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, Shalom.